Just going to wait for some people to jump in. And then, yeah, when I reshare this one, I'll whack that cunt on YouTube. I'll cut it from, like, where we start talking and whatnot.
Sure, man. Yeah, it's where we actually start fucking chatting.
Alrighty, there's people watching. So...
There's fucking 2 people. We're good.
Yeah. I know, it's good. We've got 2 viewers. It's basically how many people we get in an average show.
Hey, at least you won't be restricted from the corona situation. You can probably organise gigs and still have
no shit. Like
maximum turnouts of 2, you'll be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, like wall of death from 1.5 meters apart. Just put like a clear screen in the middle of the pit. You may not cross this line.
Mason Dixon line.
I imagine the wall of death is kind of like when you put the same side of a magnet together, and they're like,
yeah. But no, like, all right. So for the people watching, we got a few people in now, so we'll start this up properly. This is episode 3 of Grievous Bodily Yard. What's going on, Aiden? How are you, mate?
Boys.
So yeah, we've got the lovely gentlemen that are. Which way am I pointing? Hold on. I cannot see which way I'm pointing. That way. All right, so they're down this way. Everything's mirrored on my end. These 2 lovely gentlemen are the cunts from Wartooth. Our brothers from up north. They are joining us tonight. They got a new album. It is fucking awesome. We're going to play a song afterwards. And we're just going to shit talk. So I'll let you 2 boys introduce yourselves.
That's it. Well, I'm Ando.
I'm Wally. I'm the drummer. He's everything else. Great band.
As far as the album goes, that's it, yeah.
We play thrash metal from Brisbane and, been going around about 7 years now, playing gigs, had a few different members and everything like that, but at the moment we're just running with 2 and loving every minute of it, getting lots of things done, making lots of progress and, just keep on moving forward with everything.
No, that's it. That's good. Like, so with 2 members, like, what does that do for you? What does that limit you with? And so on and so forth. Like, what's the gist, if that makes sense?
At the moment, we've obviously recording the album. It hasn't affected us too much. I mean, I can play bass, I can play guitar, and I do the vocals anyway. So we're able to record with 2 of us. In terms of gigs, that's about the only thing that it's affecting, really. But with this current situation, there's no gigs happening anyway, so it's not a major concern of ours.
Yeah, it's kind of a win-win.
Yeah.
But no, like fucking, yeah, we missed out on a couple of good shows. It would have been, it would have been a lot of fun. But unfortunately, this is the only thing we've actually been able to do as a band because we can't even fucking rehearse at the moment. What's the deal up in Queensland? Are you as limited to interaction as we are? Like,
pretty much. Like, I was reading a thing in the newspaper the other day, and it's like all the states are pretty similar. Maybe some like social gatherings, like in the parks and family visits and stuff, are a bit different down south. But like, we can't go to studios or anything like that. But I mean, the good thing is with just having the 2 members, like, we can still do everything we were previously doing, but it also forces us to be more creative because we can't just play a live show like at the drop of a hat. It's like we've got to figure out how to stay present and keep creating and doing all these things. And it's been really good for us because it just opened up a whole new world, which we didn't really think was out there, but because we never had to look for it when you can just play shows, whatever. It's like, okay, we've lost members, now we've got to figure out how to keep going even harder with less people. And so that's where, social media, just being an online presence really comes in and, just a different route really. So
that's it. And you guys are doing the same thing now at the moment with these things. So
yeah,
we're going to just find a way.
And whatever you want to
like, we just got to find a way to stay relevant, really, because if we didn't do this, they say if you don't post on social media, people forget about you because, people have memory of a fucking goldfish nowadays.
Less than that, man.
Yeah, so, like, this was Daniel's idea anyway. Like, so Daniel was like, yeah, fuck it, let's make a podcast. And he was bugging us for how long? What, a year?
Shit.
Yeah, give or take. And yeah, we eventually got off our asses and done it, and it's been good. Like, if it wasn't, what was that?
You say that from the comfort of a chair. Got our asses.
Yeah, well, I'm a fucking lazy person. I don't like to get up and do things.
That's
Mate,
it.
I go to the gym. I don't even do cardio.
Wait.
What the fuck is running? Like,
Cardio
seriously.
makes you smaller, right?
Yeah, but the only cardio that I do is in my bed, like behind me, for about 5 minutes a night with my right hand. Base exercises, okay?
You'll be wearing glasses soon enough, mate.
I do wear glasses. I'm just not wearing them at the moment.
All day long.
If we see Dylan's camera starts shaking a bit later on, we know what's going on.
Yeah, fucking just pulling fucking one of these ones. Fucking, oh, where are we? Woo! Yeah!
Getting some.
That's it.
Crack it off. Aiden can confirm cardio isn't part of Dylan's program. Brilliant.
I'm going to bring up the comments back.
Absolutely brilliant.
But no, I definitely agree. Like what you said there, man. You gotta stay around, but otherwise you're just gonna disappear. Like it's just the unfortunate way. But
Yeah.
the hard thing is too the way social media works. Like you put something on, and only a tenth of your fans see it anyway. It's like,
Well, yeah.
damn, you know, you gotta find out how to do it the better way.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass. And, you know, I don't know about you boys, but we're making like no money whatsoever doing this.
I know.
Yeah, you know, and everyone you speak to is in the same boat. So forking out $100 for a sponsored ad every 2 weeks, you know, a couple $100 here, it's not really viable. Even with four of us to pitch in, like, work is fucked at the moment.
Even like if you're putting money into say Facebook ads or whatever, it's like, what are you getting back from that? Like, it's not the same as if you're advertising, say, a show that you got coming up and you can sell tickets or whatever. At least there's something coming back from what you're spending on the ads. But when it's just like, hey, this is what we're doing this week, like if it's a live stream or if you're advertising like just a post about what's going on, like there's zero money coming back from that. It's just a total.
Well, exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like an arsehole if every single post I plug merch. Like,
Oh yeah.
because it's like, I want people to listen to my music, you know, if they buy a shirt or whatever, sick, but we're here to fucking write music. If I wanted to print shirts, I'd become a shirt printer, you know? Like, it comes down to the whole thing where, look, if I was trying to make money, I wouldn't be playing metal, put it that way.
Like, money from shirts, money from tickets is better.
What was that?
Money from shirts is nice, but money from tickets is better. Like at least, like we get to perform, we get to do what we like.
Well, the thing is, okay,
That's
like,
it.
doing that, this is how we fucking met you two blokes in the first place.
Exactly.
I mean, what was it? It was one of demo shows, yeah, at the
I think
Bendy.
it was it like we played with a band called Winter Valley or some shit, and that's when
Yeah, at the Bendy.
Timmy was a full-time member, and I think Jackson was the bass.
Yeah, we had Jackson at the time. Yeah.
And that was at the Bendigo.
Yeah, Winter Warriors. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
That
was fucking- How many years ago was that now? It was, what, 3 years ago at least? About 3 years?
Oh,
Easy.
easy.
2017. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking...
But where was I? What month was that? I was probably overseas being a dickhead and getting like.
Well, we
Yeah.
had,
Yeah, go into detail. So, David, what were you doing overseas exactly?
You know what day? What month were you guys playing?
It was, what, June?
June 2nd.
Yeah, June. I was getting off chops at bloody Bloodstock in England.
Yeah,
I've heard the stories. They're probably a little bit NSFW.
Yeah.
You know, not safe for wanking.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong, they are, but you'll question yourself afterwards. You'll be really ashamed of yourself.
Hey, it's the experience of living, isn't it? Yeah, Brooke just mentioned the tattoo industry at the moment's fucked as well. Like, he's trying all kinds of different ways to retain exposure. Yeah, tattoos are a tough one because you literally cannot make money besides putting shit onto people's skin. The only
Human
thing,
contact. Yeah.
yeah, I've seen a few tattoo artists, you know, try to sell paintings and airbrushings and stuff like that. But it's not a big market because, I mean, artists in general don't really make a lot of money anyway. Like, we're talking, like, you know, painting artists and stuff like that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think tattoos are probably the
Venom
only monetized art that you could actually really get on a small scale nowadays, when you think about it.
For sure. Yeah. It's, I mean, like every time you do a piece of art as a tattoo artist, you get paid for it. So there's that.
You know, and Chuck's done a couple of mine now. Like, you've done this little fucking...
Yeah.
Aiden, OnlyFans is the only way to go, boys. Yeah, I've been genuinely
selling those
thinking.
NFSW pictures and.
Like, yeah, reply in the comments if you'd pay for my dick pics.
You have to send them via Dropbox, don't you, Dylan?
Yeah, they're very small files. Like,
I was gonna say, yeah, the file is too large for Dropbox or too small. Yeah.
Fucking upload on an image shack so the watermark covers how small my shave is. But no, so you boys released an album, huh? Well, I know you did. You're going to tell these people, the 7 people that are probably watching at the moment.
15, yeah.
Oh, 15. Oh, we're going up.
Yeah, we're doing well, mate. We're doing well.
You got the Wartooth boys on, mate. The attendance just skyrocketed, yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. All right, so as soon as we start talking about Wartooth, like the numbers go up. As soon as I start talking, everything just plummets. So I'll shut up for the next 50 minutes and you
can
boys
come on
talk.
next week as well if you like, yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, no, we dropped an album this week on Thursday. It's called Program Dichotomy. I think we got a CD here in front of us. Reflection's terrible, but
nice, clean. I think that's David's copy, bro.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, so we dropped that on Thursday. We've managed to sell. I think we're almost at 80 pre-orders.
Probably.
Fuck yeah!
But now
pretty happy with that.
We sold about 5 or 6 just on Thursday night. Like, we did our live stream. And
we did an acoustic live stream gig the other night. It was good fun.
It was just like a whole little gig.
I was watching.
Yeah, it was good. There was a lot of people there. So many comments and shit, and just running a bit of acoustic, played some songs, and had a chat. And I mean, we were planning to do the same sort of thing in a live setting, but then obviously all this sort of stuff came around, and then a week out, we're like, "Oh shit, we need to do something," just to get a little spike in the sales, and we sort of came up with something and gave it a test run on Sunday, and it was terrible. And we're like, "Shit, we need to find a software that's going to hold it." And so I started looking around. I found OBS.
Dylan mentioned
holy
that.
shit, man.
Beauty, yeah.
Incredible. So it came off really well.
Yeah, that's what we're using to stream this at the moment. Like, I had this ages ago. I was doing it to fucking stream RuneScape. And as you can imagine, nobody was watching because fucking who the fuck wants to watch RuneScape?
RuneScape that's the shit, man, from when I was in like primary school. And I remember playing RuneScape. It's so good.
Like, no shit. All right, so that game is still going ahead. I've got a theory that, like, the company that made RuneScape caused the entire virus to happen. So the company, all right, company's now Chinese owned. I'll get some tinfoil. Hold on.
Oh, shit, here we go.
Put your hand
Hold on. All right. I was making kebab for about half an hour ago.
Nice. What'd you
So,
go into that.
RuneScape, Chinese company, now owned. Their player base was shrinking rapidly, so they released a new skill while releasing a virus to lock everybody inside, so everybody plays RuneScape. Amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm taking this
Teamed
off now.
up with Uber Eats to get plenty of home deliveries going on. And
Oh, man. So, yeah, Wally's replying in the chat for me. That's awesome. I love your work, mate. Love your work.
Wally's on top of it. I love it, boys.
That's not our first radio.
I got to move my product, man. I got to start sucking up to some people. I don't know this bloke. I'm going to be his best friend by the end of the night.
But no, program now Dylan looks like a true baked potato. Oh.
Give him the sour cream and chives there.
You'll be careful to be shut down by Facebook for false news. All right, well, let's play some. Let's fucking some true news. Program Dichotomy. I know where you filmed that. And that was at Monolith because I was there for a bit of that.
That's right. You were. You helped us out with some backing vocals, mate, and you did a phenomenal job. We really appreciate that effort.
Look, you say I did phenomenally, but I think that like we all got turned down as soon as fucking Sean came in and started yelling into the mic.
No, Chris turned you guys up as much as he could, but Sean just still drowned you out.
Yeah, no, like no shit. Okay, so what was it? 3 of us at one stage yelling into the mic. It was what, me, Wally, and Frosty.
Yeah.
And then Sean come in and was louder than the 3 of us, like at our full volume.
Yes.
Like that cunt is a freak. I love it so much.
Absolute diesel engine of a voice. Yeah.
Like literally the first word that he like spoke into the mic, a little bit of jizz came out. Like, not even gonna lie.
Yeah, he's phenomenal vocalist. Phenomenal. Did you guys see the video they dropped last night?
I have not. No.
Oh yeah.
They dropped is it Morbid Angel cover?
All right. I'm gonna have to check that one out. Fuck it. I tell you what, if I can get my shit sorted, we'll stream that towards the end of the night as well for shits and gigs.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, they did a wonderful job of that. Obviously, Malice's Wake. They do a phenomenal job of everything they touch. But
absolutely phenomenal musicians. Like we played with them. When did we play with them last? It was when we played Max Watts. Yeah.
Is this in Malice's or?
Yeah, Malice's. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Would have been
nice.
Yeah, and I remember me and Daniel. All right, yeah, I've got the video up here. All right, I'll stream that one a little bit afterwards. But yeah. So me and Daniel were sitting. I don't know. Have you boys played Max Watts or not?
No, haven't been.
Alrighty, so where the stage is, you've got the stage, and then to the left is where the main green room is. There's a big fucking ramp going up to the stage, and it's a big stage. Yeah, it's like a 1,200 people venue.
Okay, it's a decent venue. Yeah.
Yeah, and where Daniel and I were sitting in the back green room, just watching from the side, and I got scared at just how fast everything was going. Like, we could play pretty fast. I know you boys can play pretty fast, but watching those cunts, it was fucked.
Next level.
It was nuts. Like, they were top notch. Yes, Brody, this is not a beer, but beers anyway. It is a whiskey. It's nice.
But to be fair, they played they played so fast and so fucking precise, man. They were just on point. And their light, like we were talking about it backstage, their lighting show, their fucking air cannons and shit. Awesome.
Like
all I heard was math nerd.
Like, no. The thing is that they didn't even do it with a Mac. They had a dude off stage with I think they jerry rigged something themselves. It's like a piece of wood with 4 switches, and the cunt's just sitting there button mashing like he's playing Mortal Kombat, fucking setting everything off. Like I think he was more tired than the boys were on stage by the end of it, man, because he was just sitting there like fucking bang.
Can't keep up.
But no, that's actually one thing, right before all this shit happened, we were actually looking at shelling out some money just to buy things like lights, like little spark and fog cannons. You know, we were talking about the idea of making a massive stage show on a very tiny stage.
Yeah.
Trying to find a way to do it.
We've got a smoke machine, which is
over the
sick.
Yeah, we've got it. I think the problem is that trying to do everything yourself while on stage. I've seen the way you guys play, and yous are nuts. You're more energetic than us, I'll say that. Because yous get sweaty by actually moving around. I just get sweaty. You know, so I can imagine it'd be hard to coordinate all of that shit going at the same time.
Well, you would know, being a singer that also plays an instrument, you don't really have any spare time. If you're not singing, you're having a break from singing and you're just headbanging or whatever. It's there's no gaps to if you're just a singer, you know, there's instrumental gaps and solos where you can fuck off and do things, but because you're playing an instrument, you don't have that.
Yeah.
So, it's just it's constant. You're constantly busy on stage. There's no time for I'll run over here and put the smoke machine on or play with these lights or whatever. You just flat out.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like Tom just said, Orpheus, Chris's band, they have all their lights automated. And I don't know, did you guys see Chris's live stream on Twitch a week ago or so?
I did not.
He was talking about, so his live setup, he went into a brief explanation and it's fucking intense. So he's got his laptop set up to automate the tuning live. Yeah. So, his computer drop tunes him, it does all his programming, does all the lights, all the clicks, literally just at the press of a button, everything is timed precisely. It is next level shit.
Yeah, I remember he was telling me about that when we were down there recording with him and having a chat, and it's so much of it's automated, and that's really good. If you're playing along to click tracks and stuff live, all of that's going to work perfectly. But we don't play along to clicks. We're completely raw, and we like the organic feel of that. So it's hard to automate things too, I guess.
That's the problem that we had, because we discussed it ages ago, and we were we could play to a click, but then the one thing that scares me the most is if somebody fucks up, then you're fucked. Everything goes, and it happens. We've had an instance where I've meant to start a note and I played the wrong note, and you just make a dick of yourself on stage. You laugh it off and start again. Yeah. If you're with a click, you can't afford to do that. It's either you do it or you don't.
Even just like if somebody ends up like a beat out or something like that, it's like it's all down to shit after that because you can't catch it back up again.
Yeah, it's very hard unless a bloke stops on stage and then it's visible. Like, I mean, you know, the way I see it is that when you're watching bands, like I noticed this watching Lamb of God. I saw them, you know, one of the 3 or 4 times I saw them, and they weren't the tightest band live when I saw them. They played with Meshuggah. That was at Festival Hall.
And they played with Metallica in their Death Magnetic tour as well.
Yeah. That was a fucking sick show.
It was.
But, when I saw them at Festival Hall, there were a couple of times where they seemed to go out and then catch back in time. Like, I picked it straight away. A few people did. But they didn't make it obvious. They were still just jamming as hard as they possibly could on stage. Yeah. And you didn't care.
Well, it's natural. It's live music, you know?
Yeah. Well, the way, like, I go to think that we feed off the crowd, and if the crowd's having fun, if we fuck up, we're just going to keep going because it's still fun. I mean, we're humans, not robots.
That's it.
Look, I think it is. If you fuck up and you have to use a click track, don't get me wrong, I appreciate the business side of things, but if you can't be genuine, you know what I mean? Like, if you can't, like, roll with... If you fall out of time and you roll back into it, it kind of happens with us. It's not like you fuck it up, you have to wait till the end of the song or to the end of the set before it, like, catches up again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, no.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But, yeah, the catching up stuff, like, actually for us when we started, that was happening a lot. We were very inexperienced together. Like, this is going back to when I first joined with fucking Daniel and Jackie. You kind of, that whole, if someone goes out, we're just going to catch up, it comes naturally. Like, that sort of shit comes from playing with people week in, week out. You just know how people react. You know what people are going to do.
You feed off each other, yeah.
Yeah, I just checked the chat. Tom's goes, we're going off the click tracks, just lots of time working out the timing between songs and stuff. Yeah, like I could imagine there would be a shitload of prep time, like knowing what goes into it. You need to rehearse the living fuck out of that. But when it pays off, it's sick. Like, it genuinely is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is worth the effort. And Dusty Price, long neck Melbournes are fucking metal. They really are.
So Tom in the chat there. Tom, that's in Venom, Tom, yeah?
Yeah, correct. That is, yeah.
Yeah. Are they just starting using click tracks, or is that something they've been doing for a while?
That's actually a good question. So if he's still watching, he's going to respond at some point. I'm going to get that bloke onto one of these podcasts soon, actually. Like, Tom's a fucking sick bloke.
He's very involved in a lot of things at the moment.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Tom, we're going to get you on at some point. You can't say no now. You've been called out live.
Called out from 2 different states at once, yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel? Half of Australia's fucking gunning for you now, mate.
I know Angeles Apatrida from Spain, they use the click tracks live, and, I mean, they just got their shit down so tight. But I think it is one of those things, like, you literally have to program whether you do, for example, a half an hour set. You know, you might just program 3 10-minute sets, and then, you know, you can have a stop and have a drink or whatever for 30 seconds, and it's like, all right, our first 2 songs are over, and then start the next 2, play the next 2, whatever the case may be. But like you said, you know, if you put the work in, you get payoffs, but it just depends on what look you want to have, really. Like, if you want a polished performance, or you just want to have a casual, you know, better than casual jam.
Yeah.
It's really just up to the band.
I agree with you 100%. Like, if you can pull off a click live, the way I see it is that you're going to generally, not always, but it's a sign that you're a decent musician and you're good at what you do. Because it's not an easy thing to pull off. So Aiden just asked, are we capable of playing to clicks? Look, we are capable, but we probably haven't rehearsed it enough to be able to do it in a live setting efficiently. For one, we don't actually have the equipment to do it, like in-ears and stuff like that. It costs money.
All I heard, mate, was, I could do it, I just don't want to.
That sounded like what Daniel just said in the comments.
Pretty much.
But yeah, also
capable and willing are 2 different questions, yeah.
So yeah, Tom said and Venom have been using them for a few years now, and he would love to be a part of the podcast. So yeah, you'll see him soonish, give or take. Alrighty. With further ado, we are how far in? We're 25 minutes in. I think now's a good time to play a track off the album, mate.
Ooh, a Wartooth track.
Yes. All right.
Yeah,
so,
can we introduce it? Should we introduce it?
Yeah, you introduce it. You know what song's being played. I'm going to set up the shit on my end. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries, man. You do your thing. So this next track is the final track of our album. It's very topical at the moment because it's about nature fighting back against all the shit we've been doing to it for the last 100 years. Just this year we've seen bushfires, we've seen floods, we've seen droughts, we've seen this coronavirus situation just exploding, and really just showing humans like that nature's still the boss here and we've got no control over what's going on. That's basically what the song is about. Yeah.
All right,
have a listen. Enjoy.
I've listened to this song a few times. As Darkness Comes by Wartooth off the new album. The links are in the description as well, so buy the fucking album, please. Like, I get nothing out of this, but it's just fucking that good. You should buy it, all right? So yeah, we're gonna start playing this shit, guys. Let me do the shit on my end.
Enjoy.
The promo is up, and we are pressing play.
Cheers, man.
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah, very, very big oofed. Like, that was the biggest oofts. All right, so I'm going to take that promo back off the screen. We've had a little bit of a connection problem with Andy and Wally, but they're going to be back shortly.
Wallace?
Yes. I think Jack went to go take a piss. Oh, he's back. So, yeah, not sure if you realised, Jack, but Ando and Wally kind of dropped connection, but they're going to be back.
Yeah, no, I did see him disconnect.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think we need to step out the fucking game.
Big off. I enjoy.
Yeah. All right. So to send your shipping details to Wartooth, I'm going to do this promo until they come back. We're trying to get them back in as quickly as we can. Bear with us. Yeah, so in the description of the live feed, they've got some links for their Facebook, Instagram, Big Cartel, and Spotify. Yep. Definitely jump on, buy an album, buy some merch. Genuinely fucking sick musicians and sick dudes. Always happy for a chat. Whenever they come down to Melbourne, they always make sure they leave a few hours aside just to come and see us personally. So, I mean, last time he come down, he spent 2 hours getting pissed in Jack's old pool.
Yes, that was a good day. That was a fantastic day.
That was a fucking good day.
That was a very fucking fun time. All right, so...
Then welcome to the train station with his brand new Gibson Flying V.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, while we're waiting, how many people caught my fucking birthday live stream a few days ago?
Geese, and then Celine also told me that she had a geese, and it was like, fuck, it was a train wreck, Dylan.
It was a train wreck, but something beautiful came out of it. Mostly, it was this watermark, and I'm going to put that up, so give me a second. Everybody,
we're trying to pay people to get.
Like, if I turn that one on, we'll say that the fuck my life watermark.
Hello.
But yeah, no, but so I had like a great fucking idea come out of that as well, and that is literally just a live stream separate to the band, separate to anything, of just me making memes on request. And on James, we are doing fantastically at the moment. And Emily is shaking her head in disgust at the thought of me making memes on request. But she has seen me make memes in person, Aiden, and she was thoroughly enjoying it. So, Tiger King Trump, definitely the Tiger King Trump. Oh, they're back. Welcome back, boys.
Apologize for that. We had a bit of a mix-up with the technology.
Nah, it happens. It happens, mate. I'm fucking illiterate as fuck as well. I've got this working somehow. I actually don't know.
What did we miss?
Not much. I tried. I think I got you an album sale, so
that's a win. Thank you.
So, all I want for commission is a wristy.
All right, we'll send our new bass player when we get in.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard. We've just got one job for you before you start. This is your audition. Go to Melbourne.
Go to Melbourne. Give this bald fucking wristy.
Sort Dylan out. Yeah, that's it.
It won't take long, I promise.
Yeah, don't fuck his wrist. We'll need him for the gig.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, one thing I wanted to ask you boys, because we've noticed it recently. Okay, so Daniel put a thread up the other day on Facebook. I can't remember what it was about, but some dude jumped into it and started absolutely going full tinfoil over 5G and coronavirus.
Oh, get fucked. You know what?
All right, let Dan have a rant here. Come on.
Daniel.
Let me find this. Give me a second. Just, I gotta.
The wolf on wings is a biological weapon.
Yeah, no, honestly, there's a fucking broken page about it, and it's ridiculous. Oh, let me find this fucking thing. Give me a minute. I don't post much. All right, so it's this. I don't know if I can probably get that in frame there. That's what I posted, right?
Love it.
That was funny.
Right? And then I had some fucking tinfoil hat dude named, I can't remember his Craig or some shit. Like I had a good chat with my mate Matt, which I used to work with at an old job. Now we can chat because he helped me out a lot when I was there. So there was no hostilities there. It was just talking, right? But then there was this other dude. Like Matt stopped talking. Me and him were just whatever. Then there was this other dude who started comparing flus from like the fucking medieval times in regards to new technology coming into the world at the same fucking time. Like 1918 Spanish flu begins after radio wave was installed. What? Please fucking tell me that people don't believe that radio waves and shit create fucking flus.
Hey, bro, don't you remember? Man, smallpox came in when the trebuchet was invented.
Oh,
Yeah. No, well, look, I think there might be some, like, a little bit of truth to the theory, okay? Because if, like, technically radio waves and sound waves are probably all related, like, I'm not a scientist, but
No,
the last time I listened to mumble rap, I got physically ill. Had my head in the bowl, just fucking spewing my guts out. As soon as I heard like Tekashi 6ix9ine say 3 words.
He says words.
Yeah, apparently.
It was just sounds. Yeah, there you go.
Apparently, there you go. The more you know.
I'll try and find this fucking page. Give me a minute. It's a page literally dedicated to people saying that they have moved into areas where 5G is and now they can't feel their fucking fingertips. Like they're munted and they're a bit fucking skewed, if that makes sense.
See, it's weird. I remember watching a documentary once about these fucking, like, about people who were like, electromagnetic frequencies. I can feel them and they cause me pain continuously. But they were basically going like full Amish and living in the forest, like in wood cabins using oil lanterns and shit. And not once did they feel bad when they had the full documentary crew with phones and cameras, generators, lights, batteries and shit. Like, not once did anybody mention, oh, you know, these are setting me off. They were more than happy to jump on camera and do interviews. I think the two boys have frozen again.
I think they have
listening.
I think they have. They're probably sick of me talking shit, to be honest. Look, that'll get sorted out, hopefully.
I can't find it, but it's absolutely fucking cooked. Like, for some reason, people think that 5G has caused the coronavirus, and people get this shit. Like, there is some conspiracy theories out there, and some are actually somewhat believable, but this one is fucked. It's got to come along with like a mental health issue. Like, it's fucked.
I think someone just got a bit bored.
No, yeah. I've got, like, I remember seeing something about it. It was like the flat earth theory as well. So you got all these flat earthers. They want to be part of something because they've never been part of anything. And as soon as you put the word society on something, they're like, fuck yes, I belong. And
Yeah.
they were like, everybody's hated me for my whole life. Maybe it's because they just are on the same intellectual level of me and it's not the fact that I'm a complete shit person.
And they try to push it through a circle.
Yeah, and then they join this society, and because they're actually involved, I think we've got them back. Oh, they're back.
Here we go.
Yep. So we're having internet issues.
No, that's all right, man.
We're good now.
And we're talking about flat earthers trying to, you know, be part of the society. I just realised, David, are you walking around with that weapon?
No, I'm walking around in my house with a survival tool, thank you very much.
Yeah, you should.
So this cunt's got a... All right, so who made that for you? Like...
David, we're talking to you.
Well, the axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, man. There was a friggin' blacksmith over in WA called Sam Towns. He ended up making it for me. He was a fucking sick cunt.
Like, that is fucking awesome. I might have to get him to make something with me. Like,
and everybody dropped out on my... Thanks, man.
Like, I wonder if he could make me, like, a massive broadsword, but with the tip of it looking like a penis.
Page, bro. It's all good.
What was that?
He's on my Facebook page, so if you look up Sam Towns...
Oh, what the fuck?
Might have to do that. All right, Wally.
Like, the handle's made out of...
It's made out of an old tree.
This fucking Devon News Melbourne 2 hours ago posted a plane carrying up to 80 coronavirus patients is heading to Melbourne on a emergency flight home from fucking South America.
Why?
So now they're going to bring that fucking shit here, going to infect more fucking cunts.
Like,
Telling you,
look,
this country is a bit fucking twisted, mate.
like if they isolate them properly, it's not an issue. But we've got a track history of not doing that very, very well.
This is what Dylan's got control of.
The government tells you to do something. Well, I'm not fucking doing it.
So, like, look, mate, they can come stay at mine. They can sleep with the rabbits and the fucking dogs and shit out back because they can't get coronavirus, apparently. So I'll give them 3 square meals a day. They'll be right. But no, have you boys, Ando, Wally, have you got any shout-outs that you want to do while you're here? You want to thank anyone?
Well, I better thank my missus for being a champion supporter of all our works and cooking us dinner and shit when we're preparing for live streams and, you know.
That's always nice.
Helping me. Covering the bills so I can spend all the money on bands and ads and shit. So that's always good.
No,
that's always nice.
Got a pretty wicked setup. And our parents, too. They cover heaps of stuff and buy all our merch and shit. So, you know, good financial supporters and supporters in other ways. So.
Yeah.
No, well, that's the main thing, man. If you've got...
Big shout-outs to... that's it. Big shout-outs to Chris, Sean, Dylan, and Frosty, obviously, for helping us make the album. The backing vocals and everything just makes them sound phenomenal with all the extra help we had. Massive shout-out to everyone that's bought an album so far. As I said, we're over 80 sales now, so we're stoked with that. Our goal was 50 by release day, and we smashed that out of the park, so we're pretty stoked.
It's fucking sick.
So, yeah, massive thanks to everyone that got involved on that.
I think it was like really fun, you know, sort of setting goals, and then you got to chase them down. And then, you know, like you have all these people along the way to help you out. So, you know, some of the people we've mentioned there, and then everyone who was able to buy an album, like we said, you know, just really helps us achieve our goals and then able to keep pushing forward and doing more of the same that everyone's enjoying.
That's it.
You know, so it really just takes the whole community to make it happen.
Yeah, well, it's got to be fulfilling as well, you know. Like, I know you boys poured your heart and soul into this. Like, this was a long time coming. Use the whole writing, recording progress. I know you spent a fair bit of time hunting for the right place to record it. And to be honest, I don't think you could have made a better choice than Chris. I mean, the dude's a fucking master at what he does,
100%.
You know, so I'm just glad to hear that all the work paid off and the album turned out fucking ripper. From start to finish, there's no filler whatsoever. I've played it through about 7 or 8 times now, and it's fucking absolutely magnificent.
We're stoked with it, man. We're, like, it blew our expectations away, and we had high hopes.
Yeah, no, that's the main thing. Like, as long as you come out of it without thinking, fuck, this was terrible, fuck, we fucked up, you come out of it positive, you're always going to have a good time, yeah?
That's it. Sorry, David said something. I missed it.
I was going through, like, because I've got one of my bosses, like, when I was moving. Anyway, when you buy Wartooth's merch, you'll get these lovely little fucking hand.
What's that?
Oh no, he's cutting out.
He's lost it.
He's cutting out.
What do you get when you buy an album?
Thank you, Wally.
Alrighty, so
handwritten note. It's just fucking lovely.
Helps you get through the Corona situation, mate.
Yeah,
we're just struggling down there.
Well, no, like, in case anybody's wondering why David's connection is a little bit cutty and sketchy, he actually is like in the process of moving house at the moment. So he's got no proper internet and he's using like the 4G, so the non-cancerous radio.
safe radio waves. Safe one.
Yeah, the safe ones, the ones that don't cause you to grow 4 dicks.
Is that what? Oh, okay. We're going to get on the 5G.
Yeah. It's either 4 dicks or one really big dick, like looking in my head right here.
You can't lose, can you?
Yeah. Skinless. So, yeah. So the next podcast that we do, David should hopefully have a good internet connection, so you'll be able to hear him a lot better.
Hang on. Bad?
We can see you fine, but yeah, your voice is cutting in and out just because your reception's like terrible.
All right, dead set. I'm on 2 bars right now, and this is the best I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Stay right there.
Like, I know what your area's like, and it's just like the fucking black hole of Wyndham at the moment.
Like I'm sitting on a bicycle trying to pump my Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Hook it up to the charger and off you go.
Yeah.
Handwritten notes are a lovely touch. Thank you, Wally.
Yeah, mate. It's all part of the
Do us
thing,
a favour. Can you read the note out? We couldn't see it clearly before.
Oh, yeah.
Because you kept fucking moving around, David. Slow down.
Fucker, I just hit the
Back on your bike.
Just stay still and look at a screen cap. Yeah.
I just hit the coffee table. Hang on. Oh. Okay. Can you hear me?
All right, we can. Yep.
Dear David, thanks for supporting our new single launch. We would love to see a photo of you on Facebook with your new Venom head gear. Tag us on Facebook when you post it up. Cheers, man. And I sent it to you, Andy.
All righty.
I did see that come through, yes.
Can you do us a favour? Can you take another photo naked holding just that picture and we'll put it on our page as well to give them some promo?
Hang on.
Just hold that CD like in front of the package, just so we don't get banned again by or us. While we're here, we're going to get a bit nude. Oh, look at it, it's coming off.
Oh, here we go.
All right, in the comments, boys. Everybody post F in the comments. Pay your respects.
Two respects.
Hang on. Wait. Where do I put the tube? Hang on.
He's looking for the tube.
This is happening. All right.
Where did it go? I had it just here.
For those tuning in, David's getting naked.
I am naked.
Live on action,
He
yeah.
fucking is naked this cunt.
Where did it
Oh
put it?
my
It doesn't take
lord!
it much, does it? It doesn't.
Oi, in all seriousness, that's something that needs to be done. Okay, so pornos live, but studio quality, not the amateur chatterbait stuff. Live studio quality porn, like with all the stagehands in the background and everything, just because it'd be
Live
funny.
stream, yeah.
They don't block your live stream, don't
Coming
they? Live. They
live
don't cut
from
them off later,
Brazzers. Alrighty, what's he doing?
Everybody's can't find it.
Everybody's just tuned into the bottom left corner of the screen at the moment, just waiting for David to get naked, just so people can get like a 320p pixelated picture of his cock.
It blurs itself out, yeah.
And the podcast is banned.
Alrighty, come on, mate.
Oh no! Like dead set. Like I've never felt like such a letdown in my life.
Don't lie to me, David.
Yeah, look, trust me. Look, if you want some advice, just sleep it off. I know what it feels like to not be able to perform when naked.
No, I had it right here. It's fucking gone.
Oh, well, fucking, I don't know. Well,
You know what will happen? I'll find it when we all finish.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you finish after you find it and not before. Because then you got to worry about the cleanup as well.
Fuck. Hang on. Where did I go? I'm going to retrace my drunken steps. Hang on.
No wonder why you're getting fucking naked.
I know, like, we're not even talking now.
Look at that. Next question while he finds it, mate. Yeah.
I just someone is getting nude. And that's just the normal. You haven't seen us at rehearsal. Like, somebody gets basically naked at least once every band rehearsal.
Yeah, it's probably true every fucking time.
Yeah, it's usually me.
Someone, he
Trying
said,
to pass it away, yeah.
You know what? I feel like the dumbest cunt. It's sitting here right in the corner.
Oh, no.
Oh, fucking.
Alrighty. So we're going to... I tell you what, if this doesn't come through on live stream, I'll get David to take a selfie and I'll post it up on the band page tonight with some links for the Wartooth boys.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Some very, very, very sexy promo.
Give him a Venom head shirt and that's it, yeah.
Yeah, Brendo, just wish you boys a congrats as well. I'm not sure if you're seeing that.
Yeah, we got the comments coming through.
Yeah, no, fantastic, fantastic. Alrighty, so David, you get in there?
That's fucked up.
I'm allowed.
Oh, shit.
Hey.
Is It's the poster.
Drop it.
The new poster child. That's it.
Poster $12. Get them while they hot. $8 shipping straight to your door and sign note. There we go.
We promise not every poster has been touched by David's dick, but if you
No.
Thank you for looking away, Andy. Now I still have some sort of shred of dignity.
Mate, I see it enough.
He's watching it on his phone for the replay, mate. It's about 10 seconds
I'm
behind.
trying to do the screen cap right as it comes on the screen.
he's just failing miserably. Well, I tell you what, like these videos all get posted. I'll have these online tomorrow, freshly posted, so you can get yourself a copy of that one. Look, we've been on air now for 53 minutes. I think that's a pretty good time before people start getting really fucking bored.
We got about 15 viewers now. We could probably do some Q&A before we go.
All right, yeah, fuck it. Let's do that. If you've got any questions for the Wartooth boys or the Armata boys, send them through. We'll do our best to answer them while we're here.
Andy, your vocal style. What's your influences for your vocals?
I like Sebastian Bach, obviously Skid Row. I'm a big fan of Bobby Blitz from Overkill. I'm a big fan of other, like, a lot of 80s music, so like things like Meatloaf. Iced Earth, like Matt Barlow. He's a big vocalist fan. I'm a big fan of his vocals. But people have said I sound a lot like Schmear from Destruction. I get that a lot, but that's not an aim of mine. But it's a comparison people make a lot. So.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when I hear you, I honestly think of Curse the
yeah. I mean, it's just the way it comes out. But so in one of our reviews, I was compared to. It was basically if Tom Araya and Sebastian Bach had a child, like that would be my vocals. But yeah, Schmear as well. So.
But I tell you what, that's actually a compliment. Like, that's two great vocalists, like at two extremes of metal.
Yeah.
So, no, that's sick.
Fuck yeah, stay right there, Dave. That's perfect. Teach me like one of your French girls.
Oh, my Lord. I love it. All right, both Armata and Wartooth, influences on vocals, guitars, bass, and drums. I reckon we just take it in terms. We'll go around the circle and just post our influences. Why not?
Yeah, all right.
All right, Daniel, start. We'll go clockwise and then I'll go last.
I don't know. There's a lot of people. Got YouTube drummer. He started on YouTube. He's a bit famous. He's gone on the famous side now. Luke Holland. Very, 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 very technical, and he's so fucking accurate. It's ridiculous. Obviously, from the thrash metal areas, you got Gene Hoglan and Dave Lombardo and whatnot. And the dude from I forgot his fucking name. He's on the spot. So they're the main ones. Earlier, when I was starting drums about 9 years ago, whenever it was, I did have Lars as a fucking influence, and he still kind of somewhat is, but when you put him up against fucking absolutely everyone else, he's Lars. The only thing he influences is the snare drum. I think that's about it.
Look, I will say one thing about Lars. As he's getting older, he's losing it. I think it's pretty fair to say it's an accurate assessment. But the dude still plays heavier than most other drummers do. Like, he basically, every time he hits a tom or hits a snare, he's putting his fucking fist through it still. He was never technical, but he was always aggressive in the way he played. Yeah. And seeing him live, I've seen him play live twice now. He's still a fucking great drummer to watch live. He puts on a good show. Not the most technical bloke, but he's still enjoyable to watch. Jack, you've been fairly quiet. What are your guitar influences?
Well, guitar influences, Kirk Hammett. Well, ever since I started playing guitar and ever since I got into metal, because Metallica got me into metal, I love the way Kirk Hammett played. I just love pretty much and even how he stood as well. Sometimes when I play guitar, I stand like him sometimes. But
1 foot up on the wah pedal, yeah.
Yeah, the wah pedal too. Just I don't have one anymore. And another one would have to be Buckethead. Just on like making up my own stuff. Like, he pretty much inspired me to make up my own stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, it's fucking wicked. David, you can go next, mate.
Ooh. I was actually thinking about the list before I got put into the spotlight. Now I'm like, huh? I'd say fucking Alex Skolnick, Testament, fucking Gary Holt, Hammett, Kerry King, because I like to overuse the whammy bar.
Yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good. I like it. Every time he does it, I just look and I give him the yeah, baby. Fuck yeah.
Ribbit. Yeah, honestly, for the aggression, mainly the aggression, I'd say Gary Holt. I love that shit, man. That pumps my nads. Fucking
yeah.
Gary's a fucking legend, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else would be? Trying to think. All right. I know you're gonna go stupid over shit like Cliff Burton and stuff like that, but Dylan, what are some of the bass players that you fucking idolize? And also because of your particular status in the band, who are some of the vocalists that
all right. Well, all right. So we could go into this. All right. So I started playing bass basically because I started listening to Metallica, and Cliff Burton was God. Most bassists, especially ones that start playing from high school, they do hold that same sentiment. I was no different. Unashamedly, I bought a wah pedal and a distortion pedal for my bass when I was 15.
Fuck yeah.
They've been sitting under my bed for about 7 years untouched. Just because I could never get it to sound as good as he did. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to butcher this shit. Then I started stretching out into a lot of thrash metal. So Dave Ellefson was probably the reason I actually bought the 5-string, because he's a 5-string bassist. And there was something about my fingers felt a lot more comfortable with that extra string there, just giving me that anchor point to play with. So if it hadn't been for that, I would have probably still would have played 4s and probably wouldn't be as fast as I am now, finger-wise.
Thank you. Back to that.
Obviously, Tom Araya, probably not the most technical bassist around. That's mainly just because he's so busy screaming and shit like that. But lately, vocally, I have been listening to a lot of Slayer, and more precisely, I've been listening to a lot of new Slayer. Well, the newest Slayer.
Nice.
Personally, Araya's voice got better as he got older. Same goes for Chuck with Testament. I reckon his voice now is significantly better than what it was. Have you boys heard the new album?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
It is fucking intense. It's wild. And yeah, a lot of basically pick any Exodus vocalist, and I will tell you, yeah, they are all fucking fantastic. Current and past rather. But yeah, then it comes down to the whole, listening to a lot of the heavier vocal styles as well. So Lamb of God, I've always loved Randy's voice. Hearing him clean on the last album, songs like Overlord and shit, I was like, fuck yeah, that's sick. But if I was to pick one vocalist, and this would be the most dynamic vocalist that probably, one of the most that's existed in metal, and that's Phil Anselmo. I mean, the dude was singing this high with glam metal, and then he was singing this fucking low in the fucking really bad heroin stage, and now he's sounding like a fucked up Lemmy, and it's pretty cool.
He's got range. He's got range.
I mean, if you listen to Cowboys from Hell, the dude sings 9 or 10 songs on that album, and 9 or 10 songs on the album, and each song is different vocally.
Yeah, that's one of my vocal influences to that Cowboys from Hell album, especially. Just that thrashy vocal that he does, and he's got the high screams and then aggressive lower stuff. Low key with the album that we're writing at the moment, because we've kind of announced it a few times. We've got 7 songs I think written now. When it comes time for me to do the vocals, I'm going to try and pull an Anselmo. It's probably not going to work. Just try. Yeah, we got to try. It's got to happen because. Fuck yeah.
Tom saying Phil was vocal god, and I agree with the very definite was, because like I said, he sounds like Lemmy on crack nowadays. What about you two? What about you two, man? Like,
well, for me on the drums, like, I guess it started with Metallica, and then, you know, once you're into metal, and then you start to look down other avenues, you know, going through thrash. I sort of ended up with Lamb of God and Chris Adler, you know, old Lamb of God drummer. He's quite technical, got a hell of a setup, and sort of inspired my, just the ability to like play and complete the songs, you know, rather than just like play beats and be disconnected from the other instruments. And that's something we really strive for on this album. Like, I sat down and wrote out all the drum parts on Guitar Pro, like, as opposed to playing them, because I was actually able to sit there and look at what the other instruments are doing and write feels to match that notation or to match, you know, the rhythm that it's following. Just like, you know, whether it's a double bass beat, like, for example, at the end of Sabotage. A lot of Sabotage is like quite feel-intensive song, but a lot of it matches the guitar riffs. And then another song like As Darkness Comes, as we heard earlier, you know, some of those feels just all has the same notation as the guitars. So I think Chris Adler, ex-Lamb of God, really showed me that style, you know, just to be able to play as a band, you know, and really complete that lineup. And I just remember watching an interview with him a couple of years ago, and he really spoke about that. You know, their first album was all about like, oh, how fast can we all play? And it took them about 2 or 3 albums, and then they finally got a producer in, and then boom, they dropped that awesome album, Walk With Me in Hell, Sacrament, you know, all those awesome songs that really made them awesome. And the key change that caused that was they got a producer in and really helped them make songs that mesh, where all the instruments meshed together. Yeah. Because they were just a bunch of dudes in the South who were just playing fast metal music, but they were all just doing their own thing. And so I think for me, it really opened my eyes to show it's important to play a song together, you know, and if you can't have that unison within the band, you know, maybe it's a good idea to have someone else who can see everything from over the top and say like, oh, you know, this part of the song, like everyone's doing something, but the bass player is just over there doing his own thing, or the drummer's over there doing his own thing. Like, we've got to find a way to make everything join together and just having that balance and everything. So yeah, he's one person for me that sort of helped create an identity about how I played drums in the band. And then just, you know, general influence like Gene Hoglan, as Dan said, is an awesome thrash metal drummer, and I only really followed him from Testament, like since the Dark Roots of Earth album. Hadn't really heard of him before that, but that was sort of just as I was starting to expand my repertoire. And then there's other people like Ash Pearson, who plays with Revocation now, and ex-Revocation drummer Rudinger, what's his name? Fuck. Yeah, anyway, I've got him on Facebook. Like, he's got heaps of just like crazy drum stuff, and I'm not really willing to go there yet, where you can just like play drums to just crazy metal, like where just time signatures going everywhere. Like, I really just weird shit. Like, I can't even make sense of it really. Like, I'm not looking to be a percussionist, you know, like where I can make all these sounds. I just want to play the drums. So I think, you know, just having that balance of A, having your own style, but B, fitting in with music. And I think, you know, writing songs together helps that. And then C, also, as you said before, like, you've got to be entertaining, really. Like, if you're being a live musician, you've got to have energy, you've got to have personality, and it's got to be excessive because, as you said, you know, Lars is still doing it because he's getting paid the bills and he knows how to put on a show, you know? Yeah. And that's really what it comes down to, what we got to do. Like, I don't care how technical you are. Like, I don't want to go and watch you if you're just going to sit there and be boring.
Yeah, well, 100%. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, there's only a couple of bands who could pull off that. I'm going to stand still and do nothing on stage besides play instruments. Yeah. One of them was Meshuggah. They pulled that off amazingly. They didn't do a lot on stage, but you were just so in awe of like the way everything came together. Yeah. If they were going nuts on stage, it would have actually been worse.
Yeah, when you're playing that sort of complication, like, you just sit there and you're just like captivated, like, holy fuck, it sounds exactly like the album. Yeah, you know, that's a whole 100%. Thing in itself. But if you're trying to do too much energy and it's wrecking it, you know, then it's just like, oh, the song sucks.
Another band for that is Gojira.
Yeah.
Those dudes
Yes.
are just like phenomenal musicians, so tight and everything. Like they don't need to jump around. Like you're just captivated by their sheer musical abilities.
Their light show is amazing. Especially
Yeah, the light. Yeah, see, they have light shows to make up for it. Though they don't need to like jump around and
Light
bang
shows
and
and
shit.
fire, following the Kiss model.
That's it.
Alrighty, that actually brings up a good point. Before I read out a couple more questions before we wrap this up, bands locally, like in the Australian scene, who puts on the best show? Like, who do you? We're not going to call out bands for being terrible on stage, but I don't think there really is, to be honest. Besides a couple of bands that have played like one show and broken up, like the bands that have been doing it for 4 or 5 years they're all entertaining as fuck. Because if they weren't, they wouldn't be getting booked. They wouldn't be pulling in good crowds. Who, for you, is most entertaining?
Psychroptic.
Yeah, all right, yeah, fair, reasonable.
Desecrator.
Desecrator, yeah.
Yes. I've been on the fence for a couple of fucking Desi shows yelling at Riley. It's always a good time.
They put on a phenomenal show, man.
Yeah. Autopsy, I don't know if you have seen Autopsy.
Yeah, Harlot too.
Yes.
Yeah. Malices for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nembutolic go fucking hard, Jesus. I agree with that. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys have heard Nembutolic.
I have not.
Okay, so
Victorian?
They are a Victorian band, and they're a young band as well.
Straight out of Franger.
Yeah, straight out of Franger. A bunch of like young kids. They were what between 16 and 18, if I remember correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
And they fucking went off harder than we did, and I was pushing. I went absolutely fucking nuts, and I couldn't keep up. I was fucking wrecked. It was amazing to witness.
Impressive.
All right.
And extremely heavy too.
All right. If I had to pick a favorite Exodus vocalist, fucking Steve at the moment is my favorite.
Zetro, 100%.
Yeah.
Like he's got that perfect voice where it's what would happen if you'd put Gary Holt's distortion onto clean vocals.
Mm-hmm. It's like razor blades in your ears in the best way possible.
Honestly, the way I'm imagining it, it'd be like if you poured lemon juice and salt into your eye.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, going down.
Yeah, fucking Dad. Yeah. You can tell cunts not to walk in, but they still do anyway in underwear, offering fucking, what was it, feta cheese. It's the most Maltese thing ever. Like, literally.
Hey,
having your dad in underwear walk in. The people seeing at home can't see that because they're not facing the door. The other boys did. So my old boy just walked into the room in only his underwear, holding feta cheese, saying, "Do you want some?" It is the scariest thing that I have ever witnessed in my life.
Down.
I called that last podcast. How long is it going to be until your old man walks in with just his jocks?
And lucky he was wearing jocks. He's had this habit lately of just walking around completely starkers. If it's my house, I do what they fucking want.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Sausage?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Couple more questions. What else we got? So Daniel, Chief asked you if you're jumping on COD after this.
Well, that was the point.
Fair enough.
We got fave albums this year. Someone asked that. I can't remember who. But yeah, favorite albums for us this year. Well, I'm kind of waiting on the new Lamb of God stuff. I did like their song. I did like their song. What was it? Checkmate. Kind of very trashy. Their drummer, who is also another influence. Besides Chris, of course, Chris is a fucking legend. But Art Cruz, I've followed for pretty much since I started. Very, I wouldn't say as technical, but he's skilled, very skilled. Fucking Testament. I listened to that. Literally, it started work last week at fucking 6 a.m. So at 5 a.m, I just blasted thrash all the way down the fucking freeway.
Nice.
And then of course, Wartooth album.
Yes.
Finally, took his fucking. Because when you announced it, I think in February, didn't you? Or January.
Well, we
recorded it last year.
Yeah, the hope was for November, and all we could come up with was fucking Venom heads. So it's like, well, we give us something, and then we got to bust our chops to get the rest of the whole system set up, and then I don't know, man. You have a nice timeline set out, and then
and it goes to shit.
So much
Oh.
much work involved.
You know all too much about the timelines.
Yeah.
It's not even a problem, but it's just so much fun, like, you know, having the process, and like once it's done, it like sweet, you know, now we're out. Like, you just got to get it right, I think, you know.
Yeah, getting it right's better than getting it done quick. Yeah,
100%. You don't want to release something half-assed and completely botch it because you only get one chance to present it, you know, for the first time.
And wasn't there rumors of Exodus doing another album this year?
I've heard something that they're recording. I don't know if it's going to be released this year, but now that Gary's finished up with Slayer and he's gone back to do Exodus full time, it's likely we're going to see something come from there. The album that I'm most keen for that hasn't been released yet is actually Ailstorm. So they've got Curse of the Crystal Coconut coming out. And, Andy doesn't like that.
Not a fan.
The reason I like listening to Ailstorm is just because it is fun to yell along to. They're not great musicians. Their vocals are fucking literally scraping the barrel for 3 albums straight now. The song that they just released, what was it? Treasure Chest Party Quest. Like, it is the most stupid fucking song ever created, but it was still fun to listen to.
They're like the Steel Panther of pirate metal now.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, they literally said, we're going to try and alienate our fan base, so here's this song about us driving Volkswagens.
The singer guy, he's got side projects and stuff where he makes retarded EDM music and stuff.
Yeah, so that's
I'm not saying that EDM music's retarded. I'm saying like he makes retarded.
Oh,
EDM.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, he's got the side projects that I know of. So he's got Glory Hammer, which is like medieval, full fantasy, Dungeons and Dragons, sort of thing. Got to see them live the first time they come to Melbourne, and they were all really nice guys. I've met Chris a few times there. He's a pretty good dude. Always happy for a chat. And then, he's got Christopher Bowes and his Plate of Beans.
That's the one.
It's fucking so shit. But it's fun. Like, you just know that there's this Scottish dude sitting at home, like, absolutely fucking hammered on beer, Guinness, and haggis. And he's like, I'm going to fucking start writing music. Pulls up Guitar Pro, writes a song, and then just turns the instrument into, like, a xylophone or something. And just fucking export. Done.
Album is finished.
Album is made. Fucking Nuclear Blast is going to make $20 million out of this shit. It took me 45 minutes to do with the shitter.
Whatever sells, eh?
Yeah. Alrighty. So the questions have kind of dried up. So I think, after an hour and a quarter, I think that's probably a good time to start wrapping this one up. So yeah, we're going to give a final shout out to the boys from Wartooth for their new album. Again, I know that I'm sounding like a fucking broken record, but buy it, listen to it, give them all the support in the world, especially through this time where nobody can play shows. Everybody needs whatever fucking help they can get.
Quick question. Do you guys like vinyls? We're trying to rally up support to print vinyls, and I just have no idea if anyone actually wants to buy one anymore. So if anyone wants to buy a vinyl, let us know. We're trying to, figure out some numbers, and then we know whether to go get them printed or not.
All right.
So, what do you guys think about vinyls?
When David posts his nude selfie to me and I upload that, I'll put the question in there because that'll get that'll garner some traction as well, yeah?
All right, lovely.
Nice.
Do the camera for me.
Huh?
Sorry, hang on. Let me get into a 2-bar area. I'm going to need somebody to do the camera for me.
Fuck. You got a selfie stick?
I'm not going to lie, my dick was holding down the other end of the poster. So
fucking hell.
I can see what I can do. I work with the
That's it.
So while we're waiting for David to set himself up, a quick shout out for Chaos Drums and Roto Sound for giving Daniel drumsticks and me strings. It's a nice feeling. I don't have to pay a shitload, and I don't have to take out a fucking mortgage every time I want a set of bass strings. So that's always good. And also, I don't have a logo up, but yeah, Josh Reck from Anubis. Oh my lord,
that's beautiful.
That is amazing. I'll get you to take a proper resolution selfie later.
Right.
And
on, I'm
we'll
doing it
get
now.
that one up at the end of the feed.
He can't help himself. He's doing it now, mate.
Yeah, he's loving it. He's loving life.
Make it your thumbnail for the video. You'll get the heaps of streams.
Just wants your fucking dick out, mate. Jesus.
But yeah, we're terribly missing fucking Josh and Anubis at the moment. So that's where we do all of our rehearsals. It's where we're likely going to be fucking tracking drums for the next album as well. So while all this shit's going off and we're basically grounded at home, we can't do shit. So we're fanging to get back there. Like, I just want to fucking play with the boys again.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
Have you guys seen any of the bands that are doing the like playthroughs where they all just like record their track and then they make a dope video of it? Seen Angels Have a Treated did one, and March of the SOD did one.
Yeah, I've seen a couple pop around. I wouldn't be able to tell you which bands have done them or not.
Yeah,
but it's a great idea. Like, I think the hardest part for us is I don't know if the other boys have got the equipment to be able to do it properly. Like, we could probably, like, we could record it with phones, like that. Those boys, because I've got a little interface that I'm running through my
Jam. Yeah,
yeah. Like, I've actually got a fucking SM7B, which is what I'm chatting through at the moment. It's a slightly expensive webcam mic, just casual $350 mic.
Well, three of you will be alright. It's just Dan that's got the problems there.
Yeah,
sorry, not Dan, David.
Yeah. So if we can get some good quality, good-ish quality recordings, obviously Daniel would have to do the drums first, and then we just play to the drums.
Yeah.
Like, it's an idea. We might actually fucking look at doing that. We'll discuss that through the week.
Yeah.
You could do it like on this live stream thing, but like not live. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like, be like, look, we did this earlier. We don't know if it sounds good or not, but we'll see. And who knows? I might get me dad in his underwear with feta cheese to do some guest vocals.
Yeah.
Okay. I would tune in just for that.
Great.
All right. Yeah, I think it's time to wrap this one up. So, everybody,
thanks for having us, gents.
No, thank you for fucking joining in.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks
Like, this is
to
fun.
Aiden and to Brendo for grabbing a CD while we were talking.
Yeah, good sales work
Oh,
there.
fuck yeah. No, that's nice. We got 2 sales through the stream.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I think that puts us over 80 now. So.
Nah, fantastic. I love it. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, it was nice catching up with you as well. Definitely just fucking, if you want to jump on again, let us know. We're more than happy to chat. We'll fucking have anyone
Anytime.
on. Please hire us. Alrighty, guys. Yeah, so this is Armata with Wartooth for Grievous Bodily Yarn. This episode was entitled Batshit Crazy. It'll be on Spotify, all the other streaming services, YouTube, and the shit over the next few days. Yeah, thanks very much for tuning in. If you've got any questions or recommendations that we can try to fit into the next episode, whether it's things to talk about, things to discuss, bands to listen to, people to talk to, yeah, definitely just hit us up. Let us know. We'll do our best to get it all happening. We're doing this for you guys. Like, we get literally nothing out of this. So this is just for you blokes and girls to pass an hour and a half at home. So yeah, have a good one. Actually, before I go, should I try and get through the Imalice's Wake track?
Give it a crack. Give it a fucking spin.
Yes. Alrighty.
It's brutal as fuck.
All right. I'm going to pop that one up now. So we are going to sign off with this song. I'm just going to patch this through to the boys. So bear with me. So share computer sound for that one. Start sharing. Alrighty, so this is a Morbid Angel cover of Immortal Rights by In Malice's Wake. Probably one of the best bands fucking in Victoria. So, yep, tune in. This is Grievous Bodily Yarn. Thank you very much, cunts.
Cheers.
See you all later.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Oh, no, we get it there. It's on.
I'm gonna watch some reels and shit. Did he walk back? Yeah, man, so much shit to that David Pratt bloke. I didn't even know who he was. Yeah, I didn't know who David Pratt was. Oh, yeah. What you looking at over there? David Goggin. If you're looking for some soft feel good messages, maybe you should check out at Soft Motherfucker.